Imagine a mountain. It is deep in the forests of Oklahoma. It is a place where the trees are tall and the shadows are long. Locals call it the Sans Bois Mountains. It is beautiful, but it is also silent. On October 16th, 2009, two hunters were walking through these woods. They were looking for deer, but instead, they found something that did not belong there. They found a truck, a white pickup truck, parked alone on a dirt road. There was no one around. The engine was cold. The doors were locked. The hunters looked inside the window. What they saw made no sense. They saw wallets, mobile phones, coats, and hidden under the seat, they saw a brown bag. Inside that bag was $32,000 in cash. Why would someone leave a fortune in the middle of nowhere? Where was the driver? Where was the mother, the father, the little girl? They were gone, vanished into thin air. The only living thing left inside that locked truck was their dog, starving, scared, and waiting for a family that would never come back. This is not just a story about a missing family. This is a story about madness, about spirits, and about a videotape that shows them possessed. Welcome to the mystery of the Jamison family. To understand this tragedy, we must first look at the family. On the surface, they looked normal. Bobby Jamison was 44 years old, Sherilynn was 40, and Madyson was their 6-year-old daughter. She was a bright little girl who loved her dog, Maisie. They lived in a town called Eufaula in Oklahoma, but the Jamisons were not happy there. They were a family in pain. Bobby had been in a terrible car accident years before. His back was injured and every day was a struggle. Sherilynn suffered from severe depression. The death of her sister had broken her heart. They wanted an escape. They dreamed of a sanctuary, a place where the world could not touch them. They planned to buy a plot of land in the Sans Bois Mountains. 40 acres of peace, 40 acres of silence. They thought the mountain would heal them, but they did not know. The mountain was waiting for them. But in the weeks before the trip, something changed. Their behavior became strange. Sherilynn stopped talking to friends. Bobby became paranoid. They told people that spirits were haunting their home. Sherilynn said the ghosts were evil. Bobby asked his pastor for special bullets to fight the demons. Were they losing their minds? Or was something truly watching them? On October 8th, 2009, they made their decision. They packed their white pickup truck. They took their warm coats. They took their GPS. They took their little dog, Maisie. And for some reason, they took $32,000 in cash. They drove south, leaving the safety of the town and entering the deep wilderness of Red Oak. The road became rough. The houses disappeared. The phone signal faded away. According to the GPS data found later, they reached the mountain. They stopped the truck on a lonely ridge. Maybe they got out to look at the view. Maybe they got out to walk the dog. That was the last moment of their normal life. Whatever happened next happened in silence. No one called 911. No one ran for help. The sun went down on the mountain, and the Jamison family simply ceased to exist. For 8 days, the mountain kept its secret. Police and volunteers searched the woods. They called out their names. But the forest was silent. Finally, on October 16th, the truck was found. But the discovery only created more questions than answers. The truck was locked. It was parked on the side of a dirt road, miles from civilization. Inside, the police found a heartbreaking scene. Maisie, the family dog, was still inside. She was barely alive. She was starving. She was so thirsty that she could not bark. The family had loved this dog. Why would they lock her in a metal box to die slowly? The inventory of the truck was even stranger. Usually, when people run away, they take their essentials. But the Jamisons left everything behind. Their wallets, their IDs, their mobile phones, even the GPS. If they went for a walk, why didn't they take their phones? If they were running from danger, why didn't they take the keys? And then there was the money. Hidden under the driver's seat was a brown bag. Inside, neatly stacked, was $32,000 in cash. This single clue destroyed the theory of robbery. No thief would leave a fortune behind. Whatever happened to them was not about money. Investigators looked deeper. They checked the security cameras from the Jamisons' house, recorded right before they left. The footage was chilling. It showed Bobby and Sherilynn packing the truck, but they were not acting like normal people. They walked back and forth from the house to the car, again and again. Sometimes they stopped and stared at nothing. They moved slowly, rigidly. They looked like they were in a trance, or like they were being controlled. The final clue was found on Sherilynn's phone. It was the last photo ever taken of their daughter, Madyson. In the picture, the little girl is standing on a rock in the forest. She is not smiling. Her arms are crossed tight against her chest. She looks defensive, scared. But the most disturbing detail is her eyes. She is looking away from the camera, looking at something behind her mother. Was she looking at a person, an animal, or was she looking at the reason they would never leave that mountain alive? Seasons changed. The snow fell, and the snow melted. For 4 long years, the Jamison family remained a ghost story. Until November 2013. 2 deer hunters were walking deep in the forest only 3 miles away from where the truck was found. There, lying face down in the dirt, they found the answer. They found 3 skeletons, 2 adults, and 1 small child. They were lying side by side, face down. The earth had taken them back. Because of the time passed, the medical examiner could not find a cause of death. There were no bullet holes, no broken bones, no signs of a struggle. They simply walked into the woods, lay down together, and died. So what happened on that mountain? Skeptics say it was drugs. This area of Oklahoma is known for crystal meth. People say the Jamisons were high, got paranoid, and wandered off. But police searched their truck and their home. They found no drugs, not a single trace. Others say it was murder. Bobby Jamison had enemies. His own father had threatened him. Was this a professional hit? Did someone force them to walk into the woods at gunpoint? It is possible. But then, why leave the $32,000 behind? And then, there is the darkest theory. The theory that Sherilynn was right all along. The spirits, the trance, the dark energy of the house. Some believe that whatever they were running from was not a human. They believe the family did not walk into the woods. They were called into the woods, lured by something they could not resist. We will never know the truth. The Sans Bois mountains keep their secrets well. The money is gone. The truck is rusted. And the Jamison family is finally at peace. But the question remains. Look at the photos one last time. Were they running away from a killer? Or were they running away from themselves? Good night, and stay safe.